Of course, Sophie Cunningham owned JC Sheldon from the same game that Marina Mabrey did the massive body slam into Caitlin Clark on. And of course, later in the game, Sophie Cunningham would take her rightful place as the Indiana Fever enforcer, and I believe took the first step to her becoming the...
JC Sheldon thought she was stepping onto the court to prove she was tough. What she didn't realize was that she was about to walk into one of the most humiliating moments of her basketball career. Because standing across from her wasn't just another player. It was Sophie Cunningham, the woman who doesn't just respond to disrespect, she turns it into entertainment. And on this night, the scoreboard wasn't the story. The story was Sheldon turning herself into a blooper reel, and Sophie Cunningham writing her name in bold as the league's new enforcer. It started with a cheap shot. Sheldon thought she was sending a message, thought she was setting the tone. But within seconds,
ball court. And a lot of people don't want to watch that. They want to just watch basketball. Again, the league's been handed this miracle, this beacon of light, while it was down in some dungeon in the basement on life support, and it was...
The entire arena knew what really happened. She didn't look like the intimidator. She looked like the embarrassed extra in a comedy skit. The kind of moment where you immediately wish the cameras weren't rolling. Except this was the WNBA. The cameras were everywhere and the internet was waiting. The crowd gasped, then laughed. The commentators couldn't hold back. And Sheldon's body language told the whole story. Regret, shock, and humiliation all rolled into one. And here's the thing about Sophie Cunningham. She's not just another WNBA player grinding through games. She's unpredictable. She's got that brunch with your bestie energy off the court. But the second you test her, she flips the switch and becomes the last person you want smoke with. That duality is what makes her dangerous. Sheldon found out the hard way. Because when she went in with her little dirty move, Sophie didn't just clap back. She annihilated her. It wasn't just a rebuttal, it was a demolition. Sheldon's act of toughness crumbled faster than a cheap lawn chair under pressure. This wasn't just basketball anymore. It was chaos. It was drama. It was the kind of moment you can't script, but every fan secretly craves. Think about it.
Today in the WNBA dump. The Butt Bongo Band playing all the classics as dump divers enjoy the fiesta. We will miss layups. Or my new personal favorite, it's the remix to Ignition, R. Kelly is in prison, and the WNBA.
1 second, Caitlin Clark is battling through defenders. The next, she's getting slammed to the floor by Marina Mabrey. Referees are scrambling, whistles are flying, fans are in disbelief. And through all of this, Sophie Cunningham is standing tall as the Indiana Fever's enforcer. For a league desperate for storylines, this game had everything. Spite, scuffles, memes, and humiliation served on a silver platter. It was WNBA Fight Night, and Sophie was the star attraction. Sheldon probably thought she was the one writing the script that night. Maybe she told herself in the locker room, "I'm not backing down. Tonight's the night I make a statement." Well, she did make a statement, but it wasn't the one she planned. Instead of "I'm tough," the message became, "I picked the wrong opponent." Because when you try to play villain, you better actually scare people. And Sheldon didn't. What she brought was awkward substitute teacher energy. Sophie, meanwhile, walked in like the class clown who secretly runs the entire school. The humiliation didn't stop with the game. Social media lit up within minutes. Memes, edits, captions, they flooded every feed. Fans compared Sheldon to unstable IKEA furniture, falling apart the second pressure hit. Others said she should switch sports entirely. Some even joked she might want to pick up knitting instead, since she clearly loves weaving herself into other people's highlight reels. That's how quickly the internet turned her cheap shot into a permanent stain on her reputation. And once the memes start rolling, there's no escape. You don't just lose a play, you lose the narrative. Well, meanwhile, Sophie's reputation skyrocketed. This wasn't just about winning a possession, it was about establishing dominance. She humiliated Sheldon without even breaking a sweat. Casual dominance. That's the worst kind of humiliation.
Shit! Shout out to the Indiana Fever. I'm feeling good, folks. Welcome to WNBA Fight Night, or as some people are saying, WNBA Raw.
Because forced effort can at least earn you respect. But when the other player looks like they're brushing lint off their jacket while dismantling you, That's when you know the gap is enormous. Sophie didn't just beat Sheldon. She embarrassed her, and she made it look easy. The psychological toll is what makes this even more devastating. Sheldon didn't just lose a moment on the court, she lost the mental battle. Because now every time she even thinks about throwing a dirty move, Sophie's face will flash in her head. That's how dominance works. Sophie doesn't just beat you on the scoreboard. She rents space in your head for free. That hesitation, that little doubt creeping in every time Sheldon plays physical, that's Sophie's win. That's humiliation that lingers long after the box score is forgotten. And for the WNBA, this was pure gold. This is what the league thrives on. Storylines. Fans don't just want clean box scores and fundamentals.
4. We're talking about an incident once or twice a week, every week in this league. This was not physical play. That's Bush League bullshit. Street ball crap on a basketball court. And a lot of people don't want to watch that. They want to just watch basketball. Again, the league's been handed this miracle, this beacon of light, while it was down in some dungeon.
They want rivalries. They want drama. They want moments where a player steps out of the ordinary and turns a game into a spectacle. Sophie versus Sheldon wasn't a rivalry anyone was talking about before, but now it's box office. The script has already been written, fake toughness versus actual toughness. And spoiler alert, actual toughness won. Sophie isn't new to this. This is who she is. Her highlight reel is filled with perfectly timed clapbacks, humiliations, and don't mess with me moments that fans never forget. And this one just added another chapter. If she ever wanted to, she could release a training video called How to End Careers While Still Dropping Threes. JC Sheldon would have no choice but to pre-order it. Because on this night, Sophie didn't just play the game, she directed it, produced it, and starred in it. Sheldon, on the other hand, was nothing more than the punchline. And here's the truth. In sports, cheap shots fade. But moments of humiliation? Those last forever. Every time Sheldon steps into an arena now, fans will remember. They'll whisper, point, and laugh because humiliation sticks longer than wins and losses. Sophie Cunningham made sure of that. She turned a dirty hit into a career-defining moment for herself and for Sheldon. Sophie walked away as the enforcer, the queen of clapbacks, the player who refuses to let fake toughness go unpunished. Sheldon walked away as the cautionary tale, the player who tried to make a statement and instead became content. So what's the moral here? Simple. Don't mess with Sophie Cunningham. Don't throw cheap shots. Don't fake toughness. Don't test her patience. Because Sophie doesn't just respond, she roasts you in high definition. She'll make sure you regret it.
Oh man, Caitlin Clark needs to start wearing goggles, folks. Caitlin Clark's gonna need to start wearing goggles. Bumps up on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark says, "Get your hands off me!" And then here comes Marina Mabrey. Boom! Exploding Caitlin Clark like a safety coming downhill in the NFL. There was no flop there. Marina Mabrey did a straight beeline run to Caitlin Clark and checked her. You got Lexi Hull saying, "JC, what the hell is wrong with you?" This was all game, folks.
And she'll have the entire world laughing with her while she does it. The WNBA thrives on personalities who can spark rivalries and bring chaos with flair. And Sophie just reminded everyone why she's built for that spotlight. JC Sheldon tried to play tough. Sophie Cunningham made her the joke. And in the WNBA, that kind of humiliation doesn't fade away. It gets replayed, reposted, and remembered forever.